You know in the horror movies how when families move into these haunted houses or these cursed houses, how there's like these hidden rooms, a small door that could be found behind a chest of drawers or a piece of furniture that was left behind that's locked and they finally get into it. It's like the gate to hell or something. I love those themes. This is Small Doors Found in Houses Horror Stories by Spooked. We're going to react to it today. Make sure to head on over to his channel and subscribe, guys. And let's get into this reaction.
This happened when I was about 7 years old.
Okay.
And I've told no one about it.
Looks like a spooky
It all started
house.
when I had just made a new friend in school called Sarah.
Okay.
I invited her over to my house for a play date for the first time.
Alright.
Until then, everything was normal. Nothing out of the ordinary happened when she came over, and I don't remember anything in particular sticking out of my mind.
Sure.
I say this because the next day at school, she started completely ignoring me. I asked her what her deal was, but she was reluctant. I was really confused more than anything.
Weird.
Because we had fun literally the day right before.
Right.
Then, after me begging her to tell me,
moody, though.
she finally let go and said that my dad was a weirdo. Of course, I didn't know what she was talking about, and I assumed something happened between her and my dad, but I didn't really know what. That wasn't until a couple of weeks later.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be friends with somebody that had creepy parents like that too.
Because I had gone to sleep on the couch from me wetting my bed, not wanting to wake up my mom to clean the sheets. So
yeah,
both of my parents were upstairs sleeping. I suddenly heard this muffled noise, like almost sort of a baby doll sound effect. I'm sure you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Those dolls that sometimes say something when you push a button.
It's very creepy to hear at night.
That's what I heard. What was weird was that I didn't even have any kind of those dolls.
Right.
The strangest part, though, was that the sound came from somewhere right near me.
Did your dad?
We also didn't have a basement, so that made it even weirder.
Okay. There's a hidden door somewhere.
Room, only lit by the moonlight, and my gaze stops at the cabinet door. We didn't know for sure if it was a cabinet door, but it was a small door that for some reason a lot of houses have.
Right.
And most of them are sealed off either way.
Almost like a
I never really questioned the purpose of such a small door until that night.
Sure.
Because I figured maybe the sound came from there.
Like we have one on our central unit.
But I was still curious.
Sure.
I decided to get up and walk towards the door. Upon briefly touching it, I noticed it wasn't locked. I pulled onto it with a little bit of force when it suddenly swung open.
Right.
That's when I realized it wasn't actually sealed off. It was completely hollow.
Okay.
There was some sort of crawl space, with small carpets.
Ductwork. Exactly.
There weren't any cobwebs or anything, and it was relatively clean and tidy.
Yeah.
Of course, curiosity got to the best of me, and I stuck my head inside to see how far the crawl space extended to. As I did though, I saw that it actually led to a small set of stairs, which led to the crawl space underground. And at the bottom of those stairs, I could make out a faint light coming
that
from
scared the hell out of me, kinda.
What was this? I thought. I was now in the stairs area, and as I approached the door, I could feel my palms getting sweaty.
I can feel mine sweaty too!
As I got closer, I could make out the buzzing sound of the lights coming from the other side of the door. I pushed the door open and was met with what I could best describe as an underground children's play area. The floor was made out of some sort of synthetic grass, and the walls were painted in blue to imitate a landscape.
Did Dad have some sort of
room, there were a bunch of different toys all scattered around the ground. Synthetic imitations of ponds, wooden logs, but also small cars.
Cool place for kids, but
just near my feet,
the way it's staged.
Needless to say, it all clicked in my head at that moment.
Wow. He was doing like
me and my family
stuff?
moved recently into a new house in North Carolina.
Oh, that's creepy.
Because my dad landed a new job. Upon moving in, I went to discover my room and started setting things up.
Right.
That's when I noticed a small cabinet door at the bottom of one of the walls. Weirdly, it was sealed off by the wallpaper, as in the wallpaper just put over the door.
Yeah.
I just assumed it was used for storage in the past and just kept on unboxing.
Sure.
I eventually had my first day at my new school. I got introduced to my new teachers and made some new friends.
Hey, cool.
Basically, the entire day at school went fine.
Right.
Until I got home in the evening.
Okay.
Because both of my parents were working, I was home alone.
All right.
I entered my room, threw my bag on the bed,
heard some sound?
and that's when I noticed something was different with the small cabinet door.
It was like cut out.
I got closer and realized the wallpaper sealing up the edges of the frame were ripped off. It looked like someone had opened it up.
Right.
There was even a small hole where a key was supposed to fit in. I immediately messaged both my parents, asking them if they had opened the small cabinet in my room. But a few moments later, they both replied no, and asked why. Out of instinct, I go open the door, but it's locked, of course.
Yeah.
I thought maybe the realtor had come in and opened the door to check on a key.
Somebody lives
maybe
there.
He came in to store something. Either way, I just dismissed it and eventually just carried out with my day.
Oh, what?
From that evening, though, I stayed on edge for anything else to happen.
That would have made me crazy.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet.
One night,
Take a look at the help section in your Alexa app.
After the door was open, I woke up to some noise coming from somewhere in my room. It was like something moving in the walls. I immediately thought of the small door. I looked up and was surprised to see that it was now slightly open. As gently and quietly as possible, I got out of bed and started tiptoeing over to the door. My heart was racing as all the possible scenarios played out in my head of who or what could even be behind that door.
What do you mean, what? They're using a key!
As I got closer and closer, I couldn't make out any noises anymore.
This is a gremlin or something.
I didn't know if whatever was behind the door heard me,
I have a feeling it's gonna be a jump
stopped
scare.
moving. So I slowed down my steps and tried being even more quiet than I already was.
Right.
I was now about a feet away from the door, and so I bent down and peeked inside. But obviously it was dark.
Sure.
Hello? I asked. It was completely silent, though.
Sure.
I thought, maybe I made up the sounds in my head.
Oh!
A hand suddenly shot out at me, grabbing me by my shirt. I screamed in absolute horror, as both of the person's hands were now latched onto me, pulling at full force. I pushed against the wall to try to get an advantage, but it seemed to be futile. My dad suddenly stormed in the room, and the hands let go of me as soon as I heard my dad entering.
Bruh.
I was propelled backwards, and my dad rushed to the small opening and looked inside. He shouted, "Hey, get back here." But it was too late. My dad then sprinted out of the room and went into the backyard. He came back saying that what he thought was an electrical panel on the side of our house was actually some sort of opening that led to the crawl space.
So nobody was living in there. It was actually another entrance from the outside.
The next day, we explored the space and found a sleeping bag.
I mean, somebody was living in there, but
and
still.
a fork and knife taken from our set of silverware.
Oh my god, he was going through all y'all house. Bruh, that jump scare, bruh.
For the context of this story, I met my girlfriend Jenna a couple of months back.
Spooked,
she was in a distressed state because her ex-boyfriend had gone missing. It was a really big mystery, and everyone in town, including myself, felt sorry for her.
Oh.
Now, I met Jenna in the public library one day.
Okay.
She said she had noticed me before and wanted to grab a drink. I assumed because she felt lonely. That's when she explained to me everything about her missing ex-boyfriend. And from that point on, we kind of built our relationship.
Missing.
Fast forward a couple months, and I recently moved in with Jenna.
No closure.
It felt a little weird of me moving in her house instead of the other way around.
Yeah?
But she insisted, because she had a bigger house, as she came from an affluent family.
Okay.
When I moved in, it all went smoothly, until I started to notice a strange smell around the house.
Uh-oh.
I told Jenna about it, and she said it was probably just coming from the trash in the kitchen. I kept opening the window.
Missing boyfriend?
Which helped, but only temporarily. Jenna kept spraying Febreze to mask out the smell, and for some reason, she kept associating the smell with the trash. But trash cans usually don't smell that bad. There's some body parts
somewhere, bro.
So I thought it was something else. One day, Jenna was out doing some shopping at the Home Depot because she said she had some things to fix around the backyard.
Yeah.
So I was home alone, and I figured I'd spend the day trying to find the source of this god-awful smell. I started roaming around the house, and after a couple minutes, I noticed it came from the laundry room. But upon inspecting the room, I couldn't really make out where the smell came from.
Right.
However, that's when I noticed a small door, sort of hidden behind the dryer.
Okay, yeah.
I got closer to it,
like a cabinet.
and the smell got stronger as I did. so I pushed the dryer aside and opened the small cabinet door. It was already dark in the laundry room, so it was completely dark in whatever space was in that cabinet opening.
Right.
Though the smell got even worse now, and I could make out the sound of flies buzzing inside of there.
Oh, no, yeah.
I suddenly heard a car door closing outside of the house, so I figured Jenna was home. And I had little time to make out what was inside the darkness.
Better do what you gotta do.
Took my phone out and turned on the flashlight.
There you go.
I stuck half of my body in with the phone, when before I could make out anything, I felt someone pushing me inside of the crawl space.
Oh no!
I was now lying down with my feet barely lingering out in the opening.
Right.
I could hear her start to move the dryer back in front of the cabinet, but I managed to use my hands to push myself out of the space and use my legs to make the intruder fall onto the ground.
An intruder?
As I tried getting out, I noticed it was Jenna.
Yeah!
She was carrying a shovel, which she dropped upon falling. I was now completely out of the crawl space.
She was trying to bury
managed to grab the shovel. As she got back up, I swung the shovel right at her head. She was knocked unconscious right then and there. I called the cops and explained everything to the operator.
Wow!
The cops came a couple of minutes later, and Jenna was arrested on the spot.
So she was baiting her.
Needless to say,
so that
they
she
also
can
found
murder
her ex-boyfriend's body.
Yeah.
They managed to pull the corpse out, and the body was disfigured so badly that no one could make out the face.
Oh my god.
Jenna now faces a life sentence in prison.
Yeah.
And I was relieved that I managed to get out of that crawl space in time.
I hope you knocked her teeth out with that shovel too. God dang it. I gotta say, man, Spooked, you're one of my favorites, man. I absolutely love your stories. I hope you guys loved them too. Make sure to check out this man. His content is amazing, as well as a couple other Spooked reactions that I've done. Thanks so much for watching. As always, this is Zueljin signing off. We'll see you next time.